Fire will not disrupt fuel supply. The U.S. on Friday announced a new aid package for Ukraine. This comes amid growing tensions with China over its relationship with Russia. We spoke with Senator Dan Sullivan from Alaska, who sits on the Senate Armed Services Committee. His state has an important national security and strategic location. What were your takeaways from the Chinese spy balloon?
Well, I think first is it just reminds us of the nature of the Chinese Communist Party regime. One thing is they're aggressive. The other is they have no problem lying to the world. I mean, they're still saying, believe it or not, that that was a weather balloon. We know that that was not a weather balloon. It was a spy balloon. And so I think that it just reinforces the challenges that we have with this regime: aggressive, dishonest, and threatening. But there's a bigger issue that I think we need to take away with regard to our own homeland defense. I think it's a wake-up call for all of us on this issue of domain awareness to protect our country. And most of that has to be placed in Alaska, because any threat coming to the lower 48 will be coming through the great state of Alaska first.
Are Chinese fighter jets routinely harassing U.S. patrol and surveillance flights in the region?
We're seeing significantly more aggressive actions with regard to the Chinese, not just with regard to surveillance aircraft that we have. Legally, we're allowed to fly those in international airspace. But since Speaker Pelosi's visit, we have seen the Chinese Communist Party and the PLA Air Force increasingly carry out sorties with regard to Taiwan, much closer to what was the agreed upon kind of cross-strait boundary. They're pressing that boundary almost on a daily basis. That's another area that shows their aggressiveness that we need to work with the Taiwanese on and make sure we're ready for any real-world contingency there.
We've heard different timelines from senior military officials for a potential conflict. What do you think the timeline looks like?
Well, you know, I was actually the one who asked Admiral Davidson 2 years ago in that Armed Services Committee hearing on what he thought the timeline was. Admiral Davidson at the time was the Indo-PACOM commander. He said, in essence, within 6 years, which kind of shocked a lot of people. I always talk about 3 levels of deterrence. First, we got to make sure on the first level of deterrence, that's Taiwan's ability to protect itself. The porcupine strategy, we call it, to give them more weapon systems that they can fight, kind of like the Ukrainians are fighting. The second level of deterrence is whether or not, and I think we should, if there's an invasion of Taiwan or an attempt from the Chinese Communist Party and the PLA, if the U.S. and our allies would get there on time to stop that. But the third level, Catherine, that very few people talk about, and I think could be the most powerful in terms of deterrence, is predetermined economic, financial, and energy sanctions that we lay out in law beforehand and say to Xi Jinping and the Chinese Communist Party, if you do this, if you attack, if you invade, here's the massive sanctions we are going to crush you with.
What are your thoughts on this new aid package for Ukraine?
I continue to be supportive with regard to supporting the Ukrainians defend themselves without committing U.S. forces. But I do think that there's concerns that the American people, there's starting to be polling that shows that there is decreasing support for this. And I think one of the reasons why that we have to focus on is that the administration, in terms of the support for the Ukrainians, has been so slow to actually get them the weapon systems they need. There has been a pattern throughout this entire war. You see it on every single weapon systems: Patriots, Stingers, HIMARS, tanks, F-16s. The administration, the Biden administration, delays, and then we, the Congress, in a bipartisan way, by the way, usually the Senate, press them, and then they finally relent and get the weapon systems Ukrainians need.
On energy, what is the Willow Project?
So the Willow Project is a very large oil and gas project in the great state of Alaska, what's called the National Petroleum Reserve of Alaska. By the way, not controversial area. This was set aside, this area of Alaska, about the size of Indiana, was set aside by the Congress decades ago for oil and gas production. So we have had a project in permitting that would produce close to 200,000 barrels a day. The infrastructure that's needed is a very light footprint, 2,500 jobs, 75% of which are union, the highest environmental standards in the world, the lowest emissions of any major energy project in the world. Every union in America supports it. The Alaska Native people support it. I just met with the president on this last night in the Oval Office with Senator Murkowski and Congresswoman Peltola. I handed him a joint resolution from our legislature. Every single elected official in Alaska, Democrat and Republican, supports this. This should be a no-brainer from a national security standpoint, from a job standpoint, from an environmental standpoint. And unfortunately, we have lower 48 environmental groups who are going out of their way to try to kill this project.
Is the administration going to get behind this project?
I certainly hope that the administration is not listening to these lower 48 radical environmental groups. If they do, that's going to be national security suicide for our nation and not helping anyone in terms of jobs or energy security for our country or for that of our allies.
And finally, CPAC is this weekend. How do you see the Republican slate of presidential nominees shaping up?
Well, I think you're starting to see a lot of good candidates either already in the race or contemplating to get in the race. I think you're going to see more jump in. I think it's good to have that kind of competition, that kind of exchange of ideas. A new generation of Republicans are already out there testing the waters. So I think it's great.
Is Trump still in the game?
Oh, I'm sure President Trump's still in the game. I think he's at CPAC this week. He's going to be a strong contender, but it looks like he won't be the only contender.